A lot of things is happening, including, first of all, stopping further approval of any developments in wetland. That was the first step taken by government to put a halt to any further approval of any developments in wetlands except sustainable fisheries management on the edges of wetlands. You are aware of the presidential directives in that respect, cabinet decisions, and subsequent suspension of any licensing for activities in wetlands. So that's the first step. Government realizing that there is a problem and taking a step to halt the problem and then nurture recovery. And as you've heard from the commissioner and the minister, the recovery is already happening. We lost our wetland cover from 15.6% to 8.9%. You can see the drop from 15.6% of the country surface, excluding water, of course, to only 8.9%. But because of government efforts and because of citizen awareness, and thanks to you for informing the citizenry, there is the reverse of the curve from 8.9 now to 9.3. I think that's a big achievement for the country to celebrate, that we have halted further loss of wetlands and we are on a steady path to recovery. To me, that's a positive trajectory. Cutting down of trees by KCCA. I think the trees you are talking about, of the palm trees which are drying up, you are talking of the beautification in preparation for NEMA. We have seen this is happening. The plants require constant watering so that we do not lose them, and KCCA is aware of this matter, and they are taking all steps to ensure that the greening that happened before NEMA is maintained. We work together, but they are an authority, as you know. They are in charge of the Kampala affairs, and the green parks are directly under their charge, but we work together in the spirit of one government. The government established the Environment Protection Police Unit, as you know, under the Uganda Police Force. But in addition, Section 25 of National Environment Act requires government to establish a dedicated environment protection force for enforcing the laws on environment. And thanks to government, the operationalization of Section 25 has already started. You've heard about restructuring at NEMA. One of the areas of reform is establishment of a dedicated force for enforcement of environmental laws. So the Environment Protection Force has been formed. Initial personnel of now we are at around 120 have been already recruited. They are going for training. We are working with the Uganda Police Force to finalize the curriculum for their training, because the law requires that they have to be trained by Uganda Police Force. So finalization of curriculum is undergoing. I think the last meeting was this week on Tuesday. And so we are on course to establishing a dedicated force which will be working hand in hand with the Army, with the Uganda Police Force, to enforce all the laws on environment. And so with that force, we should be able to significantly reduce or even halt encroachment of wetlands. Part of the force is supposed to have 2,000 personnel dedicated for wetlands. 2,000 dedicated for wetlands. Another 2,000 dedicated for forests. So once the force is fully operational, we should be able to have significant presence on ground. The NEMA budget, government is working on its improvement. Of course, it is still small, as you have said, And it's not only NEMA, by the way. It is environment management budgets generally are not adequate. From the local governments to the ministry and its agencies, we need more funding for environment management. But most importantly, like the minister said, environment management is not like a road or a hospital where government will invest, put the infrastructure, and work is done. Environment management is totally different. It requires all of you and the government working together. Because government cannot control the way you live on a day-to-day basis.